This time on Whatever We Want, we talk about...
What if? Season 1, Episode 2. What if T'Challa was a StarLord? Spoilers, major, huge, big spoilers ahead.
Big boy spoilers.
There are time codes down in the description if you want to jump around to different things we talk about. We talk everything from the new voice actor for Drax. And
we talk about the potential futures of the What If episodes, whether or not they're going to combine or whether or not they're going to be on the different tangents. We talked about
Nebula and the fact that Thanos is good, how that has impacted her life, and where the heck Gamora is in all this, along with future predictions about Peter Quill and Ego kind of teaming up. So stay tuned. Enjoy!
Enjoy!
PreBanter! PreBanter! PreBanter peanut butter jam. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing really good. For those of us that are watching on video, I did not know that this was a thing. A full bottle of Chick-fil-A sauce.
That's like you're doing like a product placement right now.
Our sponsor, Chick-fil-A. Yeah, if you do want to sponsor us, that'd be sweet. Give me more of these, honestly. But yeah, I did not know that they made like full bottles like that. So I just had some chicken tenders with that, and it's the bomb.
Thebomb.com, one might say. But yeah, so sorry this is a little later than last week. I want to get these What If episodes out like super quick, like on time and stuff. But pretty much what happened, I was away working on a commercial like all week, like 14 plus hour days. And of course, this is the week that everything freaking happens. Like What If. I love this episode. We'll get into it. But also like the Star Wars Visions trailer. Did you see that?
Yeah, dude, that looks crazy.
The anime Star Wars. Like I was talking with a friend over the weekend about that, and like our friend Dakota and I actually want to devote something else, like another episode or maybe something we post just a Patreon, talking just about that trailer, because there's some cool stuff he was telling me about, like the specific studios that are working on it that I'd love to just like, I don't know, like deep dive into. So if you'd be interested in that, Daniel, we can do that. I haven't really talked to you about that.
I'd be totally down to do that.
Cool. All right. But yeah, I think also it was really smart that they did this like now, like it's right after the Bad Batch like ended, so we're kind of missing that weekly Star Wars fix, and they're like, oh, look at this other project coming up. I didn't realize it was so soon. It's like September or something. I don't even know.
Oh, don't remind me. Oh God.
What?
Just this year's gone by so quickly, you know?
I know. I kind of, yeah. But anyways, also I think I saw somewhere it was confirmed that Anthony Mackie's going to be playing Captain America.
Captain America 4.
Yeah. He's Captain America 4, Captain America 4. Was the sentence you just said. But yes, that makes sense. Where would you put the 4? Like the C and then A and Captain, like Captain America?
It's like a joke with like Chris Evans where he was part of the Fantastic Four. You know?
Oh yeah.
So now you do like a twist on that. So he's like, "Are you ready for this?"
It's just like old clips of him in Fantastic Four and then Anthony Mackie. I don't know.
Just jumps Anthony Mackie, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, also, in addition to that news, the Eternals trailer was released. So, and that, like, the final trailer, that looked really cool. Maybe we could, like, I don't know, I was considering maybe doing, like, on our Patreon, we can just do, like, a quick, like, whenever a trailer comes out, just, like, a deep dive into that. Because I don't want to devote, like, entire episodes to trailers, but that might be a nice, quick thing we could do for our Patreon supporters. So,
yeah,
I don't know.
You can do that.
Yeah.
Sounds like a great idea.
Anyways, that's enough PreBanter. You ready to hear the intro and jump into things?
Yeah, let's jump into it.
You may want us to talk about this or that, but we don't care. We're going to talk about whatever we want. Welcome back to Whatever We Want, the podcast where we, Jake and Daniel, two devilishly handsome gentlemen, talk about movies, TV shows, giving behind-the-scenes insights, filmmaking techniques, all that jazz, and more. What are we talking about this week, Daniel?
We are talking about What If.
Yeah.
Episode 2. What if T'Challa was StarLord?
No, but the official title is What If T'Challa Became a StarLord, which I thought was interesting because, like, I guess it's like a title that anyone can become or declare. So, like,
yeah,
I
so
always
it's
assumed,
like
Peter Quill was like, he's like, I'm StarLord, but now it's like he's a StarLord. That's like the official title.
There's a couple ways that could be looked at. Like, it could be looked at like it's a title, but at the same time, it could be also just like, I mean, we've seen variants of Loki, so it could also be looking at it that way too. Just on like a multiversal scale. So I feel like that's probably more towards where it's going to be going.
Especially, also, because we're coming off the tail of Loki, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, let's jump into voice actors galore. I don't know. I feel like I should make this a mini segment just because we're going to probably talk about it each week. What should we name this like voice actor segment? What's a catchy little like?
We need like alliteration here too. We need like what's the word for like announce or like state with a V?
Veclaire.
Vector.
Vector. Just throw Despicable Me. Vector. Dialogue duty or something. I don't know. It's time for our weekly segment, Dialogue Duty. Are we going with that? Is that...
I think that's it. Yeah, that's
all
it.
right, Dialogue Duty. So, voice actors for this week and What If. We have got a lot of people returning. Chadwick Boseman, this is one of 4 episodes that he has a role in. I thought he did really good. Well, actually, Kevin Feige actually said that Chadwick talked to him before he passed about how he really liked this version of T'Challa, and that he wanted to see if somehow he could incorporate some of the inflections and something he brought to the character to Black Panther 2. So they were looking at a way to somehow work that into Black Panther 2. Not the exact character like T'Challa StarLord, but something like that. So I thought that would have been interesting. But yeah, also Michael Rooker came back as Yondu.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Brolin came back as Thanos, which shocked me.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I loved him. Benicio del Toro was back as the
collector,
the jacked collector, which I think I originally saw that he wasn't.
Jacked collector?
Yeah, he was. I originally thought Benicio del Toro wasn't coming back, so I was surprised to see him back. Yeah. I didn't think he sounded too much like the collector in the MCU that we knew, but I don't know.
I mean, it was definitely the same voice, but it's just the way he was speaking was different.
But technically it is a different character because it's a different variant of the collector. Yeah, this guy was jacked, so... He's probably voice changed because he's going on all those roids and stuff,
He has body mods, so it's just oh yeah, I need to have my voice lower now.
Yeah. But yeah, so also Karen Gillan was back, Sean Gunn, and Seth Green as Howard the Duck was back. I thought that he was pretty good. It was funny.
That was great.
I like that little cameo. And Kurt Russell at the end. I'm interested to talk about that. What do you think is going to happen there at the end with Kurt Russell and Peter Quill? Because personally, I feel like you don't get Kurt Russell just for 2 lines. I think something else is going to happen, kind of thing.
Well, okay, so I was totally forgot about that we could see all the titles and stuff for the series already. And so
you can?
Yeah, I saw them somewhere. So it's the end is pretty much going to be the Protectors of the Multiverse or some shit like that.
Okay.
So I feel so we're going to get the new new version of the Avengers, but they're going to be the multiversal protectors, right?
So
we're going to get the
Avengers.
Yeah, so I feel Ego and whoever else we get in these later episodes are going to form their own league or something like that.
A league of their own. The Sinister Six. No.
We're gonna get the giant space squid. We're gonna get
oh my gosh. That would be what if just all the villains come back at the end? That would be amazing.
Yeah, and then I feel the way that's gonna go is
and all the Marvel zombies.
Well, yeah, that's gonna be crazy. But you remember how the Watcher in the first episode was I cannot interfere. I must not interfere. Because that's the role of the Watcher. I feel it's going to get to a point where he does.
Then, he's going to interfere. Yeah. He's going to be all right, now's the time. And then, I don't know, go off. But yeah, so he was back. Also, I learned more about Drax and Dave Bautista. I said in an earlier TikTok or something that Dave Bautista was never asked to be Drax to return. But apparently it was the fact that producers of Marvel tried to reach out to Dave, but it has to go through 4 people, his assistant, agent, and all that stuff. So it just never got to Dave Bautista. So they just had to end up going with someone else for time's sake. So it was kind of Dave's team's fault, is what Marvel's saying. So I don't know what the story is behind that. So maybe he'll be back.
Is he happy about that, or is he mad about that, or has he spoken about that at all? Or?
Well, he said in a tweet originally before this came out. He was someone asked him why aren't you voicing Drax, and he was well, I was never asked. So I don't know if he was upset at that, or I don't know the sitch. Before we jump into this episode, speaking of future episodes of What If, I saw a theory that's how Marvel Zombies is an upcoming thing that we've seen in the trailers. So people are trying to theorize what could be the change that changes that to make the Marvel What If Zombies. And people are saying that, in Civil War in the very beginning, when there's the opening fight sequence,
they're stealing that biohazard weapon,
the biochemical weapon. It's gonna maybe Black Widow doesn't catch it and it breaks and then zombifies everyone nearby.
I could definitely see that. That would make so much sense.
I don't know if that could be the case, and then it just flashes forward, because in the trailer you see Bucky has his Infinity War vibranium Wakanda arm, and then you also see some members of the Black Order behind I think, Steve in one of the shots, like Ebony Maw and the big hammer guy. I don't know that guy's name.
Yeah.
He's there. So I don't know. But yeah, also speaking of like flashing forward, I thought this was interesting. Someone pointed out to me, so this takes place in 2008 mostly, because he was captured in 1988. Like we see, that's the timestamp, and then it goes flashes forward 20 years in the future. So this is taking place around the same time that Iron Man could be taking place. And another episode is like, what if Killmonger saved Iron Man, kind of thing. So that might connect because this is around the same time. I don't know really.
That actually brings me up to a question I want to ask you about.
Yeah.
Because we saw the Collector had Cap's shield.
Yeah,
he
and
also
Mjolnir.
had some other things. Mjolnir, and then also...
And Hela's helmet. I have a question about that. Sorry, you go ahead.
Well, Hela's helmet, and then it was...
Does that mean Odin's dead? Because doesn't...
It honestly could be.
Hela have to, like, for her to be released into the world, Odin's keeping her at bay, like, back in whatever dimension. So does that mean Odin has to be dead by 2008? And how does the fact that T'Challa leaving Earth, how does that impact Odin?
How does it...
survival.
Yeah, how does that butterfly to that?
Yeah.
But there's also... I'm trying to think of what... God, Korg's... Was it like Korg's arm?
Yeah, it was Korg's arm, because he was like, I took it off like a super...
Yeah, and then it was
Shatty.
me. And the reason why we know it's specifically Korg's arm is because it was Meek's scissor hand in the back as well. Yeah, that's the last thing that was on the side there. I'm like, that looks... it's freaking Meek's arm! I'm like, what the heck?
That's interesting. Well, Korg and Meek have been connected to... Oh, you know what it could be? I mean, in the comics, the Collector is the Grandmaster, like... The Grandmasters,
Are they like brothers?
They're brothers, yeah. So
yeah.
It could be that, like, once the Collector came to power, he was like, well, I'm gonna, like, overthrow my brother, who also is kind of powerful and runs this whole planet. So he could have gone to the Grandmaster's planet and, like, taken over, killed...
That's the thing. I feel like he wouldn't care. Like, yeah. I feel like he would have just been like, okay, bro, I know you're gonna have, like, warriors, just whenever they die or whatever, just send their body parts my way, and I'll, like, make weapons out of them. I don't know. Or like he'll just like collect the warriors, but I feel like he'd let him keep like Sakaar. I don't know.
Maybe
because it's like the trash planet. Like, what would he do with the trash planet?
Well,
it'd be more valuable for him to have his brother there.
Actually,
so he can get resources.
That actually brings me to another point. In the scene when T'Challa is running through the hangar and passes the Wakanda ship, there's
the weapons or the ships.
All the ships are around, including the Grandmaster's like sex ship that he had. So maybe maybe a falling out did happen between them, and
that's true.
Took over a lot of stuff. I don't know. So that could.
I guess we'll have to find out.
I really like. I mean, we're talking about all these possibilities. I really like that this episode is making us think about those things because it was such like a deviation. Like I feel like the last episode was very much Cap, but instead of Cap, it's Peggy Carter in the role of Cap. But then the events are pretty similar.
The story. Yeah, it's retelling the story, but like in a different way. What was nice about this one it was like
a completely fresh story.
It's a completely fresh story because when it came to the first episode, like
it was
Peggy
good easing.
Cap
I think
both had like the same goals.
Yeah,
right.
True.
Because
StarLord
it's wartime,
or Peter Quill and T'Challa do not.
Exactly. So you get a totally different character into a totally different situation. Which I feel like now after like thinking about that. Like the newer episodes we're gonna be getting are gonna be changing off even more. Like we were talking about, like with the zombie stuff, it's gonna be crazy how much things will be like butterflying and like changing. And
I think it was smart that Marvel did this first episode, like Peggy Carter's episode, that way because it was a good ease in. And then now we're kind of like, oh, it could be even more, and we're kind of seeing that. So I think that was a good play. And the comments of our TikTok, I've been looking at them. Thank you everyone on TikTok, but like. A lot of people are kind of agreeing with the same thing. Like episode 1, when I was working on the commercial, like I posted a TikTok about the pacing of episode 1. Then I went to work on the commercial and I was reading them when I had like a break. And someone was like, I feel like episode 2 pacing that just came out today was really good. And I had a chance to watch it. And I was like, I can't spoil it. Like, no. And I was just like, yeah, I thought so too. And then I watched it later and I was like, okay, I do agree with what I actually just said to this person.
Actually, yeah, that was a true statement. I didn't know before, but I do now.
Yeah. I trust them. I trust our followers.
Imagine if you didn't agree though, and then you'd like have to go back and be like, actually, I revoke my statement.
JK. I like this episode. Like, it felt like a heist. Especially that one scene when they're like planning it. I love the shots when it was like Nebula just like standing there looking at a screen, and then like T'Challa like pacing in the background, and like it's panning, and then it goes to Thanos. I'm like, they're doing a heist. Like this, it felt very Ocean's 11 to me, and also it was very similar music to Ant-Man when what's his face, the character like retold everything, and it was like that, like the drum like and I don't know, I liked it a lot. That was a horrible representation.
It was a terrible representation, but like
Thanks.
I get what you mean. It's more of a higher pitch, but anywho, it's yeah, see, that's where it's at.
Like quick bongos. It's late. Yeah, so, I'm so sleep deprived, guys. I'm sorry.
You know what helped with that?
Sleep.
Chick-fil-A sauce.
Hashtag not sponsored, not an ad, but it could be.
But it could be Chick-fil-A. Come talk to us,
for the
please.
small price of unlimited supply of those things for Daniel.
God, what was I even trying to say?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, I agree with the heist thing.
I agree
with the heist feel. You know, I also loved how oh god, what was his name? It was the guy that worked for the Dark Elf, but like he didn't. Or was it the Dark Elf? Not Dark Elf.
Ronan? The guy that worked for Ronan?
Yeah, the guy that worked for Ronan. I can't think of his name.
Korath.
Yeah, Korath.
He stole the episode for me. Stole the show for me in this episode.
It was great.
Loved just how light he was and like how much he killed it. It's also I love that from the get-go, like he knows who StarLord is, whereas in Guardians he was like, who? But like it just shows like how much of a name and how much of a presence like T'Challa gave the Ravagers, and like how he turned them straight. I really like that just whole idea.
Same. I also think it's kind of funny how like in the sacred timeline, the StarLord that we get is like
is the worst version.
It's like because he's like, you could have prevented this if he. It's kind of weird to think about because people were like originally were like, why did he have to like wake up Thanos? Like he ruined it, and then we got the whole it's the sacred timeline. But then we're like, oh, there's all these variants now. So there's a variant of him that didn't do that and probably did do okay.
Well, yeah. For the greater good, though, if we're right about our theory that Odin dies in this timeline, maybe like it's for the greater good if like the sacred timeline happens according to Kang. Like he's viewing like, oh, if Odin died, like if T'Challa becomes Star-Lord, good happens here. But then like Odin dies, Captain America and Thor probably die because the Collector has their weapons. So like, I don't know. It's you never know all the possibilities. It
is weird to think about like what kind of threats would be coming out of a universe like that.
Yeah. Oh, also another like subtle change that could have been easily missed was some of the ship name. The Ravager's ship name was Mandela. I didn't know if you caught that on the wing.
No, I didn't, but that makes so much sense.
Well, but I think it's cool, but it kind of has a double meaning. I saw someone say that like, so there's a guy that was named Mandela. I don't know much about him, but he was a South African political prisoner, and he would have still been the prisoner when T'Challa left. So it could be, and actually like he was the language that this real life person like used was based, his dialect was like what they based the fictional Wakanda language on in the actual movies. So that was a cool little connection, and also the Mandela effect that like that you misremember things because this is like about different timelines and stuff. So I don't know.
So, that's a great double meaning. I didn't know that about the
political prisoner. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. So T'Challa turned the Ravagers good, steered the galaxy straight. Oh, also forgot in our what was it, dialogue duty? Yeah. John Canny. I don't know. He voiced T'Challa's father again. He's a very nice, like deep, bellowing voice. I like that a lot. So what are your thoughts on like Thanos being good? Because I love that idea.
I think it was great. It makes sense to like I was talking to some people at work about it, and they were like, Thanos is good. Like why? Like I don't know. I think Dakota was talking about that, wasn't he? We were with him the other day too.
Maybe I don't know.
I think he was talking to me about it, and he was like, I don't like it because it's like he's the biggest evil, yada yada. But it's not.
Thanos is more of a testament to T'Challa. And I have some thoughts on that.
It's a testament to that, but at the same time, Thanos is
he's a compelling
heroic
villain
in his own way.
Right.
Like he's at least
he was
in the way
the hero.
He
was the protagonist of Infinity War. It was the story from his perspective, and he succeeded. We just didn't want him to really succeed.
Didn't want him to, yeah, exactly.
He was a very compelling villain. I love that movie and just like that perspective.
But in this version of him, it's it's nice to see how his mindset is able to change once he's able to realize something's different, which is, again, what you're saying, testament to T'Challa, being able to sway him and,
yeah,
be
also,
like, hey, there's other ways to do this.
I noticed that, so Karen Gillan's character, like Nebula, like had hair. I really like the look of it, and I also like the fact, I think the subtle detail that she covers her eye, that like Thanos like kind of manipulated, because she probably doesn't view that as like attractive, but like she wants to hide that, and that's something, a constant reminder. So I think that's a good like character design detail that just helps tell her story more. But I think it's interesting that she's not super like as, I don't know, robotic as she was in the movies, because T'Challa stops Thanos from his crazy quest to like take over all the worlds kind of thing. So
which makes you have to think, like, how old was T'Challa like when he did that?
I think in like the 80s was, according to some theories, is when Thanos' planet like kind of went south. According to like some theories. So in the 90s would be when he was like kind of doing this conquest, probably took over Nebula's world. But Gamora's not around, so Gamora's planet might still be all right. So T'Challa might have gotten to him and convinced him to stop before he got to Gamora's planet. So I'm wondering if Gamora like isn't around because she's just living happily on her planet. Like he obviously got to Thanos before he even got to Drax's planet, because Drax is happy and said his family's alive. Yeah. So I don't know. Speaking of Drax, the guy that plays him is Fred Tatasciore. You should look him up, because he seriously looks like a less fit version of Dave Bautista, or less jacked version of Dave Bautista and Drax. Yeah, so look it up seriously right now.
Oh, that guy.
Doesn't he kind of look like a less jacked Drax, I guess?
Yeah, he does.
I thought that was kind of cool. I don't know.
He looks familiar though. What else has he done? Movies and shows.
He voices the Hulk,
Kung
apparently.
Fu Panda.
He was in Kung Fu Panda? What?
Yeah. I'm thinking like live action. He was in 9. He's in a lot of Marvel stuff.
Ben 10? Dude, Fred, my
Garfield.
Man.
Tangled.
Lots of Ben 10. Curious George 2? The Planet Sheen? I just saw that too. Oh my gosh.
Oh, man.
Sorry, Dave Bautista, you're out. Fred is in. All right. Anyways.
And back at the barnyard.
Oh my gosh.
All right, let's back to the tank.
Back to the tank. So I like the idea that like the Collector seized power once like Thanos kind of went straight and like he saw that an opportunity to seize power. I like that a lot. Yeah. I really do like how much the Thoughters wrote about this. The writers thought about this. Also, people think, I've heard a lot of people online saying that like they think Thanos was kind of nerfed, but I think we also have to think like he's no longer on this grand conquest and training to like conquer the universe. He's not preparing. Like in the comics, I think I saw some breakdown that like he like altered himself, like he did like bio and technological like alterations to like strengthen himself. He changed
his own genetic coding to make himself stronger.
Yeah, and he's probably not doing that for the past 15, however many years T'Challa has convinced him to not do this. Like he's probably he even said, T'Challa said like he's taken up gardening to Nebula, so I don't know.
That also reminds me, I wanted to ask you, what did you think of T'Challa when it came to him like just being like an ordinary human compared to him being enhanced?
Like half celestial? Like an actual Peter Quill?
No, I'm talking about T'Challa. Compared to him being Black Panther, being enhanced by the herb.
Oh, by the herb. That's true. I wonder if...
Right, because he's just a normal... He's not... He hasn't.
Do you think he started having the herb like as a kid, or like when does that process start?
Okay. We've seen it in the movie. The way that they did in the movie was it's a rite of passage.
Right.
And once you go through the trials, you are able to partake.
Oh man,
so he's just like he said, he's just a normal human.
That's true. I did like. Sorry, I will get back to your question. But speaking of that scene, like when he woke up, there was like an ominous musical beat. I love the music they do in this, and just like the sound effects, the SFX were, chef's kiss. I don't know. I like that a lot. But yeah, I don't know. I do like the idea that he's just a normal guy, which I think I like the idea of that StarLord was kind of a normal guy in the first one, and then they kind of retconned that in the second one, which like made sense. But yeah,
it made sense for plot, but then it also, I agree to what you're kind of trying to get to.
Yeah.
Where, like, it changed up the character, so it made,
Yeah,
There's
I
a
like the
different feel
fact.
to it then.
I do like the fact that like you said, like he is this normal guy and he's doing all these incredible things across the galaxy. Yeah, but also I saw someone make the comparison like the Peter Quill to T'Challa. Like Peter Quill was just like a guy that like had he not, I mean we've seen it, had he not got abducted, he would have just went on lived kind of a mediocre, kind of less than average life working at Dairy Queen. No offense to anyone that works Dairy Queen, like it's totally cool, but like compared to being in space, like not as cool, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
But like I feel like I mean we know T'Challa, like he was in the royal family, like he was already kind of in that political mindset of like fixing things and helping people, the warring tribes. So like I feel like he had that base to be able to propel him to solve these problems on a grander scale in space kind of thing.
Yeah. What did you think of Yondu for like how he lied to T'Challa though?
I know he lied, but I love that in every universe we've seen, he's just a great dad still. Like, I don't know. He's looking out for this kid. And he probably shouldn't have lied, but I don't know. In the end, it worked out.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like the galaxy and the universe is probably in a better state in this reality.
Definitely. And like,
as far as
T'Challa now gets to see his family like from home, so...
Did we see Shuri?
Yeah, she was on the screen left.
That's right.
The right of the king. Which probably was one of the first times he met Shuri, honestly, because I don't know what the age difference is there.
Yeah, which makes me think, I wonder if in that universe she's in line to then be the Black Panther then.
Or she might already have started like taking that, or like might be the Black Panther because like T'Challa was gone. So you could be right, honestly.
That could be a cool way that they do like Black Panther too. Like say they do go through like the end of the What If series and like they do then Mom, to like things then merge and then get like mixed characters and stuff. Yeah.
Okay, but that would also require a lot of people to like. I don't know if they're banking on everyone to see What If, because I know in animation people often like scoff at it and often don't take it seriously.
That's what I'm saying in Mom.
Yeah. But so yeah, I don't know. But I'm saying like you would probably have to have this base of seeing What If to like understand that if they carry it through Mom. But
yeah, that's true.
I don't know, they could like explain it quickly. Sorry, there's one part. It's like when he gets Howard the Duck out of the cage and starts going around with him. Sorry, I just love that when the lockdown started happening. And like all the doors started shutting, T'Challa called Howard the Duck dude. He was like, "Dude, we've got to go." Like it's go, and I was like,
"Same."
Never in a million years, I think we'd see Black Panther calling Howard the Duck dude, then running away. Yeah, so I thought that was cool. I also and then we get into the collector fight. I thought that was like we were talking about, hinting at like just a really creative fight. Like, and I love like the shot when like the collector takes him and chucks him across the room, and then like the cages like open up. Like all the cages like fly back, and it just makes this like arena. And I was like, whoa, that is sick! Like such a creative just like area.
I also just love that the way that they designed that area in general. Like even before that, like
I kind of got Monsters Inc. door vibes.
Yeah, almost. Exactly. Yeah. It was like all these different like organized chaos in a way of how things are like moving around, and it was really cool to see.
Yeah, I agree. And then like the Cosmo the Space Dog.
I'm pretty sure in the comics he's a telepath.
I think you're right. I have seen that too. But so do you think that Odin is actually dead then because he has Hela's helmet, or did like the collector somehow like go into this cage that Odin has constructed for Hela and like just was like, I'll take your hat. I don't know.
I feel like we don't have enough information. What I do feel like though is if Odin is dead and Hela is dead, then that means that Surtur and Ragnarok might have happened earlier as well.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, my favorite. All right. I think I said something else was my favorite part, but this is also my favorite part. Was when Nebula is like running away, and Thanos is like gonna stop the Black Order, and then Nebula's like, "Are you crazy? You'll never take them yourself." And he goes, "Not crazy." And the music stops. He goes, "Mad." I was like,
yes, I do. He's like, he said the thing.
I know. And then he proceeds to get the tar beaten out of him, but it was fine.
I love that one shot though, like when he mimics the Spidey thing, where it like grabbed the hammer.
Oh yeah, like... I didn't even clock that. That is really cool.
Yeah. So I was just like, it's so weird though, because it's like usually, because like Spidey's usually like upbeat and stuff like that, but now it was Thanos, so you're just like, what is happening?
Maybe Spidey's gonna be all like dark and angsty. I don't know. But yeah, so Peter Quill, the like end credits after all that. Well, sorry, I want to talk about the Embers of Genesis, like that like plant thing that they get. I feel like that was so freaking OP. Like What? Where's that in the regular MCU? Like how? What? Is that a thing in the comics? Like that you can just
Not
create
that I know of. I wouldn't be surprised
unlimited
though.
Food like.
Well, it's not unlimited. It's just rapidly exponential terraforming on a rapid scale.
It's pretty unlimited. There was like 3 specks, and like the whole planet became like, what is the
green?
Hold on, Dave. What's the
terraform?
Giant. What's the giant like
beanstalk?
Yeah, well, Jack and the Beanstalk. That's it.
There you go.
I almost said James and the Giant Peach. I was like, I mean, that is big food too. So I don't know.
James and the Giant Peach. You think of that freaking knockoff first? Oh my god, that's funny.
I haven't seen that in so
even
long.
thought about that. Yeah, it's so long.
In the recesses of my brain, just like the plants growing out of that nowhere skull. But yeah, so sorry, Peter Quill, voiced by Brian T. Delaney, not Chris Pratt. Sorry, hold on, I have a friend.
Max.
It's Mac, not Max.
What did I say?
Max. You said Max.
Mac.
It's Mac.
Why did I say Mac?
Mac's debut on the podcast. Say hello. Look at the camera, or not. Oh, he's falling out of my hands. All right, Mac. I can't have you in here. Say hello. Say I love Marvel.
You looked at it for a second. Use that as a title.
Okay, he's slipping. Goodbye.
The mic got his little.
Really?
Yeah.
That might have been me. I don't know. Like, anyways, yeah. So, what are your thoughts on Ego? Like, do you think Mantis was on the ship? / do you think Peter's going to team up with his dad and like they're going to take over the world? Because he could.
I honestly think in this variation that will happen.
Yeah, because like he's not all noble and seeing the world in space. He's probably like, my life sucks.
He's gonna be like, I want more.
Again.
Yeah.
If you work at Dairy Queen, that's totally cool. But like compared to, if you
space.
find out your dad is like a planet, you could have had a much better life.
But you know that's the thing. Like I feel like he'd be like, yeah, I'm tired of Dairy Queen. I want more. I mean, I'd be tired of Dairy Queen. I want to go to space, Dad.
I actually kind of want to go to Dairy Queen now. I'm kind of hungry.
You know what goes great with Dairy Queen?
Mass genocide. Oh my gosh.
Chick-fil-A.
I thought you were making like a Thanos Ego connection.
No.
Yeah, but
they're both pretty good at that.
Do you think? I think the song that was playing on Peter's Walkman was from the 80s. So in this universe, he got to experience life on Earth, which he's always kind of longed for in space, and he got to like listen to more music. So that's a plus, I guess. He didn't get to have sex with any crazy aliens, though. What?
Just Dairy Queen people. like I don't mean that again in a bad way, but like, you know, like you get coworkers at your job. Like I'm thinking like people at BJ's, you know what I mean? And like
I hope your coworkers don't watch this.
No, like most of them are nice, but then there's always like the weird ones, you know.
Daniel, I think they think that about you.
I wouldn't be surprised. I'm an art student.
They're like, this kid has a podcast? Pff, lame. No, I was kidding.
It's about comic stuff? What the heck?
But yeah, at the very end, sorry, back to Tank. At the very end, there was a nice dedication to Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, and yeah, that was pretty much the episode. Next time is Loki conquering and taking over Earth, I believe.
Do we have any identification of like what time that's happening? Like, is that during 2012?
That's the thing, because this takes place in 2008. If this is like continuing this timeline, this could all theoretically be the same timeline, because the first one was Peggy in like the whatever 40s.
It's not. I don't think it's.
I don't think it is either, but it could like.
No, the reason I'm saying that is because we have seen multiple versions of Cap. Zombie Cap in the advertisements and stuff.
I know. So. I'm just saying these two episodes, like these first two, could be in the same vein. I don't think they are, but I think this one could connect to the Iron Man one, where like Killmonger saves him, potentially, because that's like 2008. But also like Peggy like travels to the future, and the Tesseract like opens up and lets her out instead of Loki. So Loki could be already on Earth or has to come to Earth a different way than in Avengers kind of thing. So I really don't know. I don't know what that time frame is. I think like on the Loki, some of the like trailers we've seen, are they like on horses, like the armies battling? So maybe it's earlier. I don't know.
Okay, if it is 2012, what would the different choice be though? That's the thing.
Captain America decided not to help. He was like, it's fine. I did a war.
That's true. It doesn't have to be. No, like it could be something that not Loki does. It could be a choice that like one of the Avengers makes as a mistake.
Right.
Like what if Iron Man doesn't get the nuke through the portal?
Oh my god! And New York City's just nuked. Oh my gosh, that'd be crazy. Not crazy, mad.
But honestly, that could be it. I wouldn't be surprised. And then there's like New Asgard or whatever Loki's gonna make it.
I just saw a post that was the same. New Asgard is the same town that the Red Skull discovered the Tesseract in originally in the 40s.
Oh really?
Apparently, I saw some post, and unless it was photoshopped, it looked pretty legit. Like the town name was the same.
That's a pretty important town then.
Yeah. House of Thor and also Tesseract. Like,
I mean, I guess that makes sense because they like if you think about it, they put the Tesseract there in the first place.
True. Yeah. So I guess they trust that town. I don't know. Yeah. Town of trust. Anyways, sorry, I'm so sleep deprived. Yeah. Is there anything else we would talk about this episode about the happenings of T'Challa as a StarLord?
No, I think we pretty much covered everything. Like, I mean, we talked about where we think things are gonna be going, and we talked about things that we're excited for and things that could be.
Yeah, ready for patron shout-outs.
Yeah, hit me with them.
Cue the Epic Stars music. Boosh. We got patron Lori, Frank, Rick, Lisa, Evan, Tony. Thanks so much for listening to the tier. You can see the shout out if you want to support us over on Patreon. You can. The link is down in the description. You get episodes early, cool perks. We are going to I'm going to talk to Daniel. We're going to try to do those like trailer breakdowns and stuff like that, especially talking about Star Wars Visions, Eternal. So keep an eye out for that. Please head on over to Apple Podcasts and leave a review if you feel so inclined. It really helps out the show a lot, and we really appreciate it. We read them on here, and honestly just love hearing your feedback and what you guys think. Check out the TikTok. We've been posting a lot of clips there, exclusive clips there too, of some behind the scenes stuff and just clips from the podcast, but heavily edited down and like made even more fun than if you listen on here sometimes. I don't know. We take out the ums. I take out a lot of the ums in the audio version. It's tougher in the video just because, don't want to jump cut all the time. But yeah. Also, I just wanted to say to anyone, I know a lot of my friends and family listen to the podcast. Really appreciate you all. If you want something or have suggestions, would love to honestly hear it. Like, we're talking about doing merch. If you like merch or suggestions about that, we want to do more stuff. If you want us, I don't know, for example, have more presence on Twitter, or if you want us to make a Facebook group. I don't know. People do that. I'm part of a podcast Facebook group. If you want us to do like trailer reviews or have any ideas similar to that, let us know. Reach out to me, Daniel, maybe. I don't know. Cool.
Yeah, do it.
All right. Thank you. Ready for the introduction?
Yeah, tell me when.
When?
We just talked about whatever we want to talk about, and now we're done. Blank.
Thank you so much for listening. We really, really, really appreciate it. We will see you next time for What If Episode 3. Daniel's got his Chick-fil-A sauce, so it's going to be a good night for him, I guess.
Yes.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye.